Hello my people, today we have major breaking news coming from Ghana, and we also have some news from Burkina Faso. And I think today you guys need to allow me to be a conspiracy theorist, because by the way, we found out already now that people that are counted as conspiracy theorists, like for example Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and even Julian Assange, has actually become the people that actually tell the truth, to be quite honest. So I think by now you guys know, like, this word conspiracy theory has been created, I think, by the CIA to actually discourage people for just being honest, from being honest and come out with what they think is really happening. To cut a long story short, from Ghana, we are having a breaking news about, like a helicopter crash that unfortunately where 8 people were lost, high-level official in the government. And I feel like the part where I'm gonna be a conspiracy theorist is the part where they were actually going to a place, I think Ashandi. They boarded this helicopter from Accra. They were going to a meeting called Launching of the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program. And I think by now we know that President John Mahama, for the past, ever since he became president, has really been trying to nationalize resources so that it can benefit Ghanaians. But there has been kind of an oppression hand, behind the scenes. Sometimes we don't know these things. We hear it from, like the people that are obviously living amongst what's going on and so on. And honestly speaking, he sometimes had to kind of just have to allow, some things, because he doesn't want people to be unalive, because there's been a lot of people on the side where the mines are, where people has been unalive and so on. It's news that I know about. But this one is actually very, are we sure? Because when you look at it, John Mahama was actually supposed to be on the plane, but he didn't go. And we know that, part of it was the fact that maybe they didn't know that he wasn't, on the plane. But I don't want to say things in the sense of do you guys really think that that was just okay, something happened out of the blue, nothing related to what's going on right now with the mining licensing and so on in Ghana? Because there is something going on in Ghana about, licensing and so on when it comes to mining and so on. So yeah, I'm leaving that for yourself to decide what you think, but I'm gonna place a video here from one of my Ghanaian brother. I actually love his content because he's the most unbiased person, that I've seen on YouTube. I actually have 3 people that I usually use their video, but he's one of them. You can follow him on his YouTube channel. It's Official Survivor something. I will put it here anyway. Yeah, but listen to it and then we can come back.
Ghana is hit with expensive losses. It's not just a loss, but expensive losses. A helicopter crash in Ghana has claimed the life of top officials. And practically, according to the update, when we go down deep, you realize that the president of the country actually escaped death. And this is a sad situation the whole country, Ghana, is mourning. So on August 2025, Ghana awoke to a national tragedy. A Ghana Air Force named Z9 helicopter. This helicopter was carrying senior government leaders, and all of a sudden, according to the update, the helicopter vanished off the radar. And this actually happened just a few minutes after the helicopter took off from Accra, the capital city of Ghana. And after this incident, what followed was one of the darkest days in modern Ghanaian political history.
Anyway, first of all, I just want to say the president of Ghana is actually one of the president. I have 6 presidents right now that I kind of admire. Of course, the first one is Ibrahim Traore, and then from Burkina Faso, and then we have Assimi Goïta, he's the Malian president, and then we have Abdurrahmane Hamane, don't know whether I pronounced that correctly, Chiani, and he's the president of Niger. And then I have the president of Botswana. Oh, I love that president, he's so humble. Yeah, his name is Dumo Boko. And then the president of Ghana is actually one of my favorite as well, John Mahama. And then I have actually the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. His name is Abiy Ahmed Ali. These presidents, and probably there's a lot of other presidents I'm not aware of, because most of our presidents are such puppets for the West. But these presidents are really trying for their, just for their nationals. Like, honestly speaking, they are trying for their citizens. They are trying to do the best. And you don't really know what these people are going through. You don't know the oppression that they are going through, that sometimes we don't even know. I feel like, please, guys, you need to pray for these people, honestly speaking. Now, let's move to Burkina Faso. So, Burkina Faso was doing a grand opening for their soccer field, I think. So, 5 days before that, there were a lot of news. There was a lot of news going in the mainstream media. Obviously, you know what I mean. The Western media is always there to report what's going wrong in Burkina Faso, but they never report really the good thing that's going on in Burkina Faso. The fact that 30,000 citizens decided to just willingly, without having to get paid, just clean their cities, like the different cities in Burkina Faso. Ouagadougou, obviously, the capital, was one of them. They won't report that. They won't report that these citizens are the same ones that are just really building their roads. They won't report that. They won't report that Burkina Faso is actually one of the countries that are manufacturing their own vehicle and so on. They won't report that. But they will report things about, no, the 50s. You know what? Let me allow my brother just, kind of explain that a little bit in details, then we'll come back.
What's this particular update on your screen right now? That 50 people, when you check the update, some say 50 soldiers are dead in Burkina Faso, some say at least 50 people are dead in Burkina Faso, and some also said more than 50 people. Different figures. You don't know which is which, but the whole thing is circled around 50-50. And I will tell you, I'll show you more of that in recent years. It has been happening. It's a trend. When this update came out, I was so particular about the exact moment the update came out, and I discovered that the media is trying to prevent an exposition and awareness. And the people who champion this particular topic are Monde Afrique, RFE, and Co. They were so quick in publishing this, lovely people. Every article has a conclusion. The conclusion of the article is to tell everybody that the military leadership came to power through coup d'etat because he wants to stabilize the country. But at the same time, he's not able to stabilize the country. I think for more clarity, let's use Practica to expose this. This is from MSN News, all right? Now, watch the conclusion of their message. I circle them. It says, despite reshuffling ally and military leadership, interim President Traoré has struggled to stop the spread of extremist control. That's number one.
So let me just explain a little bit about what was going on. So 5 days before, very important guests like Eto'o, I think he's a soccer player, right? And all those important guests arrive in Burkina Faso. The mainstream media wanted to create this impression that Burkina Faso is not safe, guys, don't go there, and so on. But they didn't succeed, because now we know the story, right? Personally, honestly speaking, it's just a lot of things are going on, but I personally want to go to Ouagadougou, okay? I'm definitely going to go to Ouagadougou soon. I want to be able to have my own experience about Burkina Faso, about, Ouagadougou and so on. But they didn't succeed, because you know what? We are standing together, and we are not allowing this mainstream media to confuse us, to convince us that Traoré is a bad leader and he's not being able to manage the, terrorists going on in their country, which obviously we know who's creating them anyway, like who's sponsoring them. So after listening to that, you realize that there is a bigger picture to the things that we actually see than the things that are actually happening, right? There is this creation of just destabilizing countries to have a reason for intervention, which is obviously what happened back then with Traoré, and then the whole world stand up, and say that, no, we are not going to allow you to do what you guys did with Lumumba, Sankara, and even Gaddafi. We said, no, we are not going to do that. We are here to stand for our leaders. You know what? We are now smart. We know what they are doing. Yeah, so for now, I think we have this. We will obviously update you as much as we find out what's going on. We're probably going to come back with a Ghanaian helicopter crash, because I am like, something is going on there. Something is fishy going on there. And I think, like, I'm definitely kind of 110%, like I'm sure that there's something more than catching the eye there. So anyway, from me, Jehovah, take care and God bless you. Bye. And please pray for those leaders. Pray for all other leaders too. I actually heard something about there's something going on in Ivory Coast about Ouattara and so on. I hope it's true, but I will come on my next episode. I'm probably going to talk about that. So take care, guys. Bye.
Kelly